What's up, everybody? We're back at it again. Fitness episode part 2.
I promise I won't derail this one too much.
We ended up going on so many tangents last time. It's what we do, but this time we will try to approach it from a more not sure how to define this, more personal perspective, more technical stuff, like what do you do exactly.
I guess we'll stick to the topic a little bit more.
Yeah,
even though like
if we go off topic, I'm gonna do 10 push-ups right now.
Okay, so I'll go off topic a bunch this episode. Damu got jacked.
Yeah, hopefully we can kind of expand on some topics, because last time, last episode, part 1, I ended up the episode with like a feeling of unfulfillment, like I couldn't really expand on everything I was saying because it was so fast paced. Like we were moving from one thing to another, and I didn't have enough time to kind of explain myself or to kind of like develop those particular topics. But nonetheless, it was a really fun episode. I really appreciate that you guys took the time to record all of that. So this time we're gonna dive into it from a more less philosophical perspective, I guess, like more raw content. Like, okay,
Practical.
Dom, what do you do on a daily basis? How do you train?
Like straightforward.
What do you eat? Like, what's your diet like, and stuff like that. So I don't know how should we begin this, but I guess
Let's start off with each person. So
Yeah.
if you guys want to say like what's like your routine?
in
Well,
the previous
why don't you start Dom and then
Yeah.
we follow up like on your lead.
Look, in the previous episode, we already established like a base for where we're coming from in terms of like our past and like physical
Yeah,
exercise and exactly. So
Okay.
knowing that, what do you do nowadays?
So I wake up out of bed. I actually do
Do you
a
sleep a
couple
lot?
of pull-ups.
Sorry, now that you mentioned the
Try
sleep
to
thing,
get-
I think it's important.
Yeah. I think everyone should at least aim for 7 to 8 hours. 9 is like the cap. But yeah, lately I've been trying to sleep around 7 hours. I sleep at like 10 or between 10 to 12 a.m. on most nights. But I'm trying to get there earlier in bed so I can wake up at like 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. That'd be nice.
Damn.
But yeah, other than that, I wake up and I start the day with like a couple push-ups, and I'll do the pull-ups at my door here. So I'll set like the iron gym. And I'll
Awesome.
do like
You have one of those
6
things,
to
like
8
those
reps.
bars from. So cool.
You guys have them?
No, I don't.
No,
I used
I'm
to
always
have
afraid of
one.
using them.
No, the
Losing
thing
it?
is that there's 2 different types, right? The one that kind of fits on the other side of the door, and it's like I'm not sure.
I don't know if you
what
can see
call that.
back there. That's
Yeah,
looks
that's
like-
that's a cool
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
It's like a
That's,
hook, So
yeah.
it hooks on the other side, and it's more secure than the simple bar that just makes pressure on the outside, which is the one that I had.
that one's kind of. Does it ever fall off? The one that you have?
Never fell off on me, but one time my cousin, we were teenagers, and he was very much into athletics and stuff, so lots of jumps and stuff. Bro, he wanted to go over the bar with his body, and he fell to the floor the entire thing. And I was like, are you
Like a
crazy?
muscle-up?
You're not supposed to do that. But that's
Yeah.
the only time that happened. But I don't
I
like
see.
it. It's less solid than a real bar that you can get outside of one of these
Yeah.
workout parks and stuff.
One time I fell off, or like it fell off the door frame because I was swinging too much and then it unhooked and I fell on my back.
But you were not
One
doing
time.
any strange moves or anything.
No, I was
regular
just swinging
push-up,
on the bar a
pull-ups.
bit and it just unhooked off the door.
Testing
like,
the
ah.
limits, huh?
Yeah. But now that I have those gym rings, all those are like game changers.
Dude, I saw that.
Definitely
I was like,
recommend you guys get gym rings.
from Hybrid Calisthenics.
Hampton.
Hampton, the bro. That's so cool.
Yeah. In terms of my diet, I've been trying to up my protein intake. I stopped drinking pre-workout because I felt it was getting a bit heavy on my kidneys. I felt like I have to go to the bathroom more. I don't know, it's weird, but I just
Isn't that
like
just because of the caffeine? Because
I
they
don't
usually have like,
know. I guess like protein is harder to process for kidneys if you like consume a lot of it. That's what I've heard, or like some people have experienced. It like hurts your kidneys over time if you consume like a lot.
I
yeah,
mean,
but
Um,
then
that's
like,
additional to the
that's
food you already eat, right?
no,
yeah,
but like even if like in order for you to like to eat a bunch of protein, like enough to hurt your kidneys, like you would have to eat a ton of it, like really,
Yeah,
like
but what I mean is that if on top of that you add like more of those powders, right, which
like
contain a lot of it,
it, if
maybe
I ate
that's
the protein and then added, four more eggs, that would, I don't know,
whoa.
it'd be a lot. Uh, I don't know. I guess it's different for different people. Like some people they can handle the protein powder. But I don't know. For me, like I started going to the restroom more, like on protein shake, I guess. But maybe I just have to like
and that's because like I mean, I assume that you're doing it with water, right? Mixing it with
yeah,
water, so you're also drinking more
almond
water,
milk.
and then
Yeah.
well, but that's more liquid anyways, and then you were drinking caffeine with the pre-workout, so like it's natural that you would go to the bathroom more often, like to
Yeah, but I don't like it. I don't like
well,
go to the
I'm not saying
restroom.
that's good, but like it's not necessarily being bad to your kidneys just because you're going more
Uh,
often to the bathroom, right? It's
that's
multi-factor
what I'm
stuff.
worried. I guess. Yeah. I don't know. I'll probably just have to wean into it more.
But are
But
you noticing like visible changes on your body? Because I've
oh
seen
yeah,
a bunch of posts you
like
made on your Instagram and stuff, like
dude,
before and after kind of shot. Dude, you're ripped.
my
My
shoulders
dude
went from
got
like
buffed.
narrow to like wider. You
Crazy,
saw
dude.
like I was more of like a triangle frame, and now I'm more like an upside down frame or upside down triangle frame now.
Awesome.
So
Nice, man.
it's definitely helped a lot doing the strength training. I do a little bit of jump roping at night for about 3 minutes, just like high intensity jump rope. Um, I think that's all I do for cardio, really.
Do you have like a
But for the most
schedule a
part,
week?
no, I don't really schedule the gym time. It's more like I just do sets throughout the day. So I might do like 25 to 35 push-ups in the morning, and then later in the afternoon I'll do 20 push-ups. And
Hmm.
then say at night I do maybe like another 35 push-ups.
Yeah, but I mean, you do that every day.
Yeah.
The rope skipping and the gym
Rope
rings.
skipping is like every other or every so often, but not like every day.
Okay.
Because usually after the strength training, I'm like kind of tired after, and I barely have energy for cardio. But I just go for a walk for cardio mostly.
Dude, I've seen those
Because
amazing places you've been to.
oh
Those vast landscapes, like really green, like out of like a fantasy world. It's so cool
yeah,
that you have that nearby, you know?
I honestly that's like the second time I've been there. I didn't even know there was like a trail next to my place. Like so yeah, hiking has been added to my routine a bit, and yeah, it's nice to get some fresh air along
Looks like
with the
a
strength training.
like an awesome place to run across. Go for a
Yeah,
run.
yeah. So that's pretty much it. What about you guys?
Do you stretch?
What's your bros? I don't even stretch. I like barely stretch. It's probably why I pulled my back muscle 2 days ago. But yeah, I need to stretch more. My legs especially, and also like this stretch helps a lot, and also like this one.
Yeah, but
But-
like before or after the exercise, because these seem like more like stretches to kind of warm up or to kind of relieve
That's
some
the thing,
tension
like,
after the workout.
I don't even stretch. Like
Yeah,
I either
I meant-
forget or
I meant like active
I-
stretches to kind of lengthen the muscle, long term, to
Mhm.
get it used to be more flexible and less prone to injuries, like to pull
Yeah.
a muscle or to break it, tear it up.
I need to do more of that. More of like the leg stretching thing. But I need to also incorporate more leg day into my routine because I've been lacking that. But I've just been doing like Bulgarian split squats here and there and squats.
I mean, you do
And-
rope skipping, which I know it's like beyond the obvious, which is clearly footwork, but I know it involves like the rest of the body as well. Like you do pretty much
It's good for
a lot
the
of shoulder
forearms.
and forearm because
Yeah.
you're twisting your wrists all the time.
Mhm.
But yeah, it seems like a rather complete exercise, It's pretty cool.
Yeah. I found out jump roping through the jump rope dudes on YouTube. If you guys saw them or heard of those
I gotta
guys.
check them out.
Yeah.
And Rush Athletics. He's the guy I got the jump ropes from. It's also really good. Yeah. So that's what I do pretty much every day.
That's awesome. I mean,
At
we
least-
will
yeah.
be circling back to one another, across the conversation for sure. I just wanted like an initial base to talk about for the rest of the podcast. But Andrea, dude,
I'm curious
really,
about your guys' routines.
yeah, I'm really, really curious about yours. Like, I know you're lifting a lot, and you're more on the gym aspect of things. But I'm also curious about how you do cardio, if you do at all.
Yeah. I just started doing like more cardio now. Doing like
Nice.
jogs in the morning, a few times a week.
That's
And
awesome.
Look, it's another feeling, it's a different kind of mentality, I feel like, because you're actually going out and being like, I have a pretty nice lake that I can run, like, circle around here.
Right?
So,
Is it the one you showed us one time?
yeah.
Dude,
Oh yeah.
that's
That's a
fucking
nice-
dope.
And like, you get more in contact with like nature itself. And yeah, it's really cool. Like, I needed some sunlight as well because I go to the gym at night and I spend like most of the day inside.
Hmm.
So I've been doing that. Like, I wake up around 7 or 8 in the morning, and then I go for that jog, which is like usually an hour, like from the time that I leave my house, and then I jog for about 30 or 40 minutes, and I get back. And I've been trying to push myself, but like I need to kind of do a little bit of walking, a little bit of running, a little bit of walking and running until I get enough cardio in there so I can run the whole way through.
Is this like the first
But-
time you were doing this in years, or?
Oh yeah, actually it's the first time ever. Like I was never
How's
into
it-
much of like running.
Okay.
How is it affecting like your legs? Like, do you get any knee pain or shin splints?
I had a little bit of pain in my foot after
How
the
long
first
you've
day.
been? How long you've been into this now? A week? 2 weeks?
Maybe 2 or 3 weeks.
Cool.
And I had a little bit of pain in my foot, but that's because I have one of those like pronated foots. Like my foot gets very flat when I step on it.
I see.
And like when you are at the gym, that's not a big deal as long as you're supporting the weight. But now I have to be like more aware of how I run or how I walk.
Mhm.
And I got like a new shoe that kind of supports the arch a little bit more. So it's just a matter of like doing something that you never did, and then you find out that your body has certain quirks that you need to adapt to. And the same thing happened like when you go to the gym, and there are certain exercises that you kind of have to do it in your own way, so like you don't hurt yourself, because it's not, at least from the way that I see, it's not like a formula, right? You kind of have what you need to do, and then you adapt it a little bit to how your body works.
Yeah, how you do it is
Because-
a matter of like each circumstance, each case. It's
Yeah,
the same
exactly.
goal, it's to be able to run, but how you manage to do that is like depends on each case.
Yeah.
So you're adapting
But
to it.
it's
Cool.
so that's like my cardio, and then like I'm still going to the gym at night. I go like whenever after everyone has left, because it's a 24 like hour gym.
Sorry, you said you do this like 3 times a week or something?
Yeah.
The running thing?
1 sec, bro.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good.
And
That's a good pace, I think, especially in the
like
beginning.
That's because I'm starting. My goal is to do that like every day, because what I want is to have like a good pace of running. But the way that you get there apparently is like you do a light day and then a long kind of like a slight jog, and then a day of the week like you walk, and then there is this day on the weekends where you do like this super long run where you go more east based, but like you go for 10 kilometers or something like that, or 15.
Yeah.
So there is a kind of like a progression that you're kind of trained
Yeah,
to.
you have to respect that.
Yeah, but
gradual
since I really like
process.
the activity itself, even though like I'm not good at it, since I already really liked it, I want to like improve on it. So that's what I've been trying to do. And I have like my legs were always like behind my upper body in terms of development.
Oh, okay.
Like let's say that I have decent legs, but they were a little bit behind if you compare like the whole proportion thing. And now that I'm running more, they're being like they're exercising more, and they're kind of pairing up now.
Awesome.
So I'm really liking that.
You feel
like
more complete.
Well, it's more. Well, I really like bodybuilding, right? And bodybuilding is all about proportions. So like when you see yourself in the mirror and you kind of think that you have the right proportions, that's really like fulfilling. It's something that it matters to me and may seem like superficial for everyone else, because everyone is just for like, I mean, it for the health and stuff. And of course, the health part is very good and you feel good about yourself. But I cannot deny the fact that, I want to look myself in the mirror and like what I see.
Yeah.
And for the longest time, I didn't like it. And now I'm starting to be like, oh, well, I'm getting there, like slowly but surely.
Exactly. Don't you think it's like doing it for your health is a factor that kind of drags the other thing as well, the visual aspect of your body? Because I feel like that follows quite closely.
I think everything works like in conjunction. So it's like you're working for your health, so you're feeling better, like the way that you feel is better, and then like the way that you look yourself in the mirror and you find yourself attractive, it's also part of your mental health, because it's kind of like self-esteem, right? You
feel more confident.
That's the energy I'm getting from you right now. Like you're coming to this realization that you're balancing both of them so well because they seem to work together very well. Like your visual aspect.
I feel like there is this huge like preconceived notion that you're not supposed to care about like how you look, because then you are just a superficial person, and like it's not about that. And what I think, it's like, okay, maybe you won't go as far as like changing your whole body with plastic surgeries, right? There's a lot of self-acceptance that goes into that.
We all know,
but
if you
I
work
also
out,
feel
you
like
will look good.
You need to look.
You take care of yourself, you look good.
Yeah, looks matter, definitely.
Feeling attractive is like essential, in my opinion. With whatever circumstance you have, you need to look yourself in the mirror and at least think that liking what you see. I think that's a huge part of having a good life.
Yes.
And look, I'm not saying that like everyone should follow a certain like mode, right? For some people, if you're a little bit bulkier, that's what they want. For some people, if they're a little bit leaner, that's what they want. Like find what your goal is and go for that, right? And right now, I'm trying to do exactly that. I'm trying to go for my goal, which is that in between of like the gym and the runner. Kind of like very athletic kind of physique, and I'm going for that.
Nice.
And it will take me a few more years, but like I'll get there, and as long as I keep doing it. And
it's all about that consistency.
I'm running in the morning and
which is
going to the gym at night. And
what seems to be hard to keep up with.
What's your
what's my what?
Your overall diet?
I eat a lot of stuff. Like it's mostly like food and fruits, because I don't like too much like junk food or like pre-made meals. So like it's cooked at home, and it's like rice, chicken, beans, some salad, like some leaves. I eat a lot of fruits in the in between meals, and I do take like a couple of protein powders, shakes throughout the day, and I also take creatine. Like creatine is the if you had to take one supplement ever, creatine is the thing that you should take. It's like the most well-studied supplement ever. Like it doesn't affect your body in any like harmful way. It increases your muscle mass, it increases your strength. Like I don't know what the hell happens to that substance, but like it's like
wasn't
almost like magic.
I
You know?
heard
creatine something that
in
you
one.
already develop naturally, like your body does it, but with the supplement you give it like an additional boost?
No, so the way that it works, like you get it from red meat,
Oh, okay,
but
that's it.
the amount that you get from red meat is like so little
Yeah, it's a
that in
little
order for
amount.
you to consume something that would like make
You would
a
have to eat
difference,
like kilograms of, red meat.
yeah, like
a
1
day.
kilogram of like for my weight, it would be like 1 kilogram of red meat a day.
And that's a
But
lot
then
of
like
meat.
if you eat like just the
It's
meat,
a lot.
you're getting a lot of other stuff as well, right? A lot of fats,
Yeah.
a lot of like other things. So if you take just the supplement, like yeah, that's
How does it work? Like a teaspoon of it, or is it
it's
liquid?
for my it's based on your body weight, so it may vary, but like for my weight it's like 5 grams a day, which is just like a small
I
little
see.
scoop. And the way that
And
it
you
works is
dilute
like
that
you have
into
this
like water or something? Is it
it doesn't
liquid
dilute
or
very well, like so you can like either dilute it or just throw in your mouth and then
okay?
like drink water after. But I drink it
Some
alongside with the
people
protein shake.
got like hair loss or something from
No, that's not like creatine at all. Like
Wait,
what causes hair loss is like
Dom,
testosterone and
you mean
hormones and stuff.
because of it? Dom, you mean because
That's
of
what
it?
I heard from some people, but
Oh.
I don't know if that's
Mhm.
true.
What creatine does is like your cells kind of consume this. I don't know how to like explain the molecules in English. Okay, so I'll just
Mhm.
talk like kind of overall. But let's say that you have this molecule that your cell consumes that is composed by 3 phosphorus atoms, right? And then after your cell uses it for energy, it splits into 2s and 1s. And what creatine does, it takes this thing and puts it back on. So kind of like your cell has more energy to consume.
Okay.
I see.
So what happens is that like that's why you get like a little bit more strength and resistance. It's because it's basically helping your body to reutilize the energy that it already has.
Hmm.
That's like how it works in a cellular level. Now,
Mhm.
that again, like you kind of have your stock of creatine in your body, and what the supplement does is just keep it that like high, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's basically it. And yeah, I drink that and protein shakes just because I have a hard time eating as much as I need. So the protein shake helps getting like those calories and the protein count high enough so I have what I
That's
actually
good.
need, you know. Um,
I eat too much,
Since I know you, I think I've always seen you like eat quite frequently, right?
yeah, but I eat like 5 or 6 times a day.
Mhm.
But that's I don't eat like a lot at the same time. Like I see people eating like huge plates of food at lunch or dinner or stuff, and I can't
That's
do
what I
that.
do.
Like that's not. Yeah, I can handle it. It's too much for me. So I split it up into more meals, and then like I drink a lot of my calories as well because it's easier for me.
I mean, that's
But
good because like your stomach allows you to restrict certain calories, so you're not over consuming. You know, you feel satisfied, but you're not like
yeah.
ballooned up, you know, from all
Mm-hmm.
the food.
Yeah, but like if you can eat every single macro that you need, right? I think like that's also good because then you can spend it on food instead of like the reason why you would drink protein shakes is if you can't get it from your like diet itself.
Yeah.
So like if you can get it on food, everything that you need, that's also like great, right? It's not there's no difference between like drinking the protein or drinking the carbohydrate or eating it, right? It's just that where you get your macros,
You
it's
can,
for each
yeah,
one.
you can turn carbs into muscle, right? Or you can at least
Uh,
like
kind of. Okay, so the reason why I talk about this with certain like properties, because like my mom is a physiology teacher like for 30 years now, and I'm like hugely friends with her students. I study this a lot on my own time as well. But the way that it works is kind of like, imagine that your body it's burning up calories in order to form up the muscles, right? And those calories that it burns comes mainly from carbohydrates, right? It's not exclusive from carbohydrates, but it's mainly from that. So you're kind of like the carbohydrates is the energy that your body it's like the fuel that our body is burning to build up the muscle. Which is why it's easier to build up muscle when you are on a like
high protein
extra caloric diet. The high protein would be just because then you give your body the building blocks. That's why you eat protein. But then like the energy that you're consuming is the carbohydrates and the fats, right? Those are the but
seems
it's kind of like just, and then like to burn fat you also burn carbohydrates, right? That's another thing. So you kind of run on that fuel unless you are doing some sort of keto diet where like you change the fuel system, but then you have to be like super strict about it so your body understands that okay, I'm not using carbohydrates anymore, I'm using fats now. And then like apparently it's fine, but you need to go through the change, and then you need to be very strict about like no carbs at all, otherwise your body will always prefer that over the fats, you know.
I had one friend who was on the keto, and he got like really skinny, like his face fat just melted off. It was he was almost stick thin, and then after that whole keto diet he went right back to being big again. So it's like it's almost like a yo-yo effect. I think it's just lack of motivation. Keeping it up, over time can like be strenuous on your mental health, especially I don't know, I don't really like these kinds of diets because you can always go back to bad habits after you finish them. Sometimes, some people like can't keep up with maintaining it, so they have like a yo-yo effect where they
I've heard that a lot.
Which is
go skinny and then go big and then go skinny again.
Yeah, there's that guy on YouTube. I watched a couple of videos of him, like called Adrian X, and I know he's been like through some controversies about like about like weights and stuff.
Gains.
Yeah,
but the thing about there's one thing that he preaches that I really find that like everyone should listen to that, which is like the best diet is the one that you can follow, right? So like if for you need like the junk food one day to keep like the other like 7 days straight, if that's what keeps you in line, like that should be completely fine, as long as like you find something that works for you. Because some people go super crazy for like 2 weeks and they trip up and like fall off the diet and never get back on. So
I also think
consistency is key.
Yeah, I think people rely on the diet, but they don't push their workouts hard enough. So they rely on the diet to do the work for them, but I think the change comes from like going hard at your workouts, because I struggle with this where I would just rely on the diet to make myself skinny, but then I wouldn't see results in like my muscle growth. So I thought, they always say like abs are made in the kitchen, but like I would never see any abs after, doing the whole diet stuff. So I had to train the abs too, along with like the, building shoulders and back and stuff. It's not just purely diet. I think you have to go hard at your workouts.
I think diet is more important than workout.
I don't know, man. I don't think that, in my opinion, they are like two separate things, like it's not let's say 50-50 or 60-70.
Like
I think it's like you need to go 100% on the workout and 100% on the diet.
But I don't see them separated. Like you can work out a lot and eat like shit, and you can feel good at the time, but then probably what you don't see is the effects that has internally, your whole organs and all the system inside, long term, I don't think it's doable. When I was a teenager, I would work out and eat a lot of shit, a lot of junk food,
you mean like,
a lot of sweets,
bulking.
but I was like so young that I was just seeing that, like, I was burning everything. So I was so active that I would see, the abs pop out and all that stuff. And I was like, holy shit, this is working, and I would almost brag about it, with my friends, like, yeah, I can eat anything and I'm still fit, but long term, that's not doable.
But, okay, so let me see if I get, like, you're meaning that for your health aspect, like, the diet would be more important. That's kind of like the sense that I'm getting.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So then, I do agree with you, because like working out, it's as long as you have some activity, working out is not really necessary, right? Working out for building muscle.
So okay, I'm not saying you should neglect your workout. I'm just saying, in my opinion,
but I see what
think
you mean. Like,
dieting.
Imagine that you had to pick one of them to be healthy for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Then the diet would be like superseded. Yeah.
In my case, that would be it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think so. Yeah.
I think for aesthetic reasons, you have to like work out.
Yeah, of course. Like, dude,
yeah,
to build muscle and all that stuff that you mentioned, of course, you have to kind of combine that with some specific diet.
But that's very personal as well, right? Because there are people that like their goal is not to build muscle, so like it's do something else, right? There are people that like to run marathons, and they're like probably also because of due to the amount of the activity that they do. They're also like healthy. They're just not jacked, like super.
When you say
dudes.
Build muscle, I understand it means like to grow bigger muscles, right?
Yeah, I mean like hypertrophy.
The way I understand it as well, right? Is like, because to build muscle could mean to simply regenerate your muscle tissue. So not only you keep it the way it is, if not growing it a little more, but it stays like intact in a way. This doesn't make any sense, right?
I think like, okay, so let me see if I get it. Okay, you mean like there is this kind of like
I didn't explain that
degeneration that happens over time with our muscle, and you mean like keeping it healthy? That's what you call also building the muscle.
Yeah, like when we work out, like we break a lot of muscle fibers.
Mm-hmm.
So then they have to regenerate and grow stronger, and that process of accumulation just ends up in like bigger muscles, hopefully stronger muscles as well. But I'm learning that there's several types of fibers. I didn't know that before. Fast twitch muscle fibers or something like that, and then you have the slow ones. The ones meant for like slower movements, but with heavier pull and all that stuff. And then the fast moving ones, the ones that are required to kind of move like a huge load in like a short amount of time, like a sprint or like,
Yeah. It's kind of like explosion and resistance, right? That's basically the two types. It's like white muscle fibers and then red muscle fibers, something like that.
Another thing we should take into account is the fact that these muscles depend on the tendons through which they are attached to your bones. So when you understand that tendons take a lot longer to recover from all that pressure or stress you put onto them while working out, then you start to change a little bit your mentality. You take it easier, you give it more time, and you observe the effects. Bro, it's been years since I've been injured. Bro, it's been like so long since
the foot pain that I mentioned.
The what?
Like in the beginning, the foot pain when I like started jogging. That's due to the tendon of of my feet. It was like weak because I never did that kind of exercise before, so I had to do some like strengthening of that tendon. While I was like starting to do the jogging, because it's you never worked on that thing, right? And now you put a lot of stress on it, it's not
Yeah.
like that easy of a development. You know, like you kind of have your body getting used to it. So
Yeah, I'm gonna get into that as well when I start talking about my case. But
yeah, I think you can start.
Yeah, go ahead. I want to hear.
holy shit, we've been saying so many things. I've been holding myself back from interjecting all the time, but in my case, let's talk about the cardio thing. For instance, I've never liked it, never ever. I never liked running or anything like that.
You've been running since this past year, right? Like you started again?
No.
Started
So
running, or-
look, there was this time that I mentioned in the previous episode that I had a period of like martial arts, then gym time and martial arts, then stopped for a year or two, then came back to martial arts, then stopped for another, I don't know, half a year or something like that. And then I started calisthenics. And when I started calisthenics, that's when I started to run as well. And it was impressive, dude. I could do that every day. I was actually not on weekends, but Monday to Friday, with Thursday being the limit testing day, like let's run a longer distance on Thursdays. And I would do that every day before working out, before the pull-ups, the push-ups, all that stuff, So that was great. But that was 2013. Now it's been almost 10 years, right? And I swear I've been trying to get back at it, like in the past 2 years or so. For instance, early 2020 and also 2018. And there was always something, I was like on a streak. I was doing so well. And then there's an event in my life that prevents me from going on with that, It's like, remember the don't break the chain method and how that affects me? Well, that was very discouraging to me. Like, I've come this far and now I have to stop, and then to come back again, like I was looking for so many excuses not to do it anymore. In my case, it's always been winter. Like, I've always been the guy that can't run in winter because of stuff that happened to me like years ago, When I mentioned the workout thing, the calisthenics stuff and running, that was in summer, right? That's cool. It's nice and warm. Yeah, I can do it. Early morning, so cool. But then in winter, I would get this like the sore throat, or I don't know, I would feel like I'm having a fever afterwards. Like my internal hearings would like hurt, and my head would hurt basically. And
don't you have that? I think you mentioned once that like certain kinds of winds kind of get your allergies going.
That was horrible.
Isn't that like
that hurts my
to
eyes so much? It's not related to that. It's just the fast breathing. Because I don't think I've ever had a good cardio resistance. So my breathing is quite intense when I'm running, right? I can't really talk when I'm running next to another, because I was not running alone. But dude, I would look like I'm suffering so much. Even though I'm doing fine, I would feel like like shit. So I've been trying to get back at it every now and then, but always with that stigma in mind, like, yeah, not on winter.
Well,
if I lost it, it's already August, September.
It's the opposite way, man. Like winter time is the best for me to work out because
that's the way it is for most people that I've talked to.
Because you don't get like super sweaty, like you are kind of like chilling. You have natural air conditioner. That's what I think about. It's like super comfort. And I also like I live in Brazil where it's not that cold, So like our winter is not like super cold. It's just kind of chilly. So maybe that's a factor, right? We still have sunlight and like still super sunny even during winter.
Yeah.
So maybe that helps.
Like the worst days are the dry weather days. Like, the air is dry and there's no moisture in the air. And when you go for a run, it just sucks out all the moisture from your sinuses. And when you're inhaling through your nose, it just feels like wind's just going up your nose. It's not like
Yeah.
So
any
just
sort
remember,
of friction.
like, drink some water,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
Let's all take a sip right now, homage.
But yeah, it's pretty humid around here pretty much all the year. And
Do you
that's
live near the coast?
yeah,
Oh.
yeah. So it's not a problem.
Okay.
In fact, it becomes a problem in summer when that horrible heat sticks to your skin, like it's
yeah, I
so
love the
humid.
feeling.
So I'm learning that I can actually tolerate both heat and cold, right? I've been doing cold showers for like 5 years now. And
Okay, so I have a question about that. Is
Yeah.
it like completely cold, like just like as if it was tap water?
yeah. So I started in 2017. I gave it a try. It was April. It was May, I think. And I gave it a try. Of course, it's easy because it's summer's coming. It's not even cold. Although most people don't do it, not even in summer, because it's like it's uncomfortable. I don't see the point. So I gave it a try. And then the challenge came when September, October, November, right? Not to mention January. And I kept pushing through. I was so proud. I'm like, holy shit, it's been like 5 months. I'm still doing this. Such a boost of self-confidence. And I noticed how I got to a point where I wouldn't even approach it with like this initial violent reaction, like, like reacting in such a way that you're kind of like shivering and stuff. No,
But you started with those.
I didn't because it was summer, but when the transition happened, I noticed how I was going into it like a little more agitated, the transition to winter, I mean. But now after a few months, I was like quickly adapting to it. So it's like February or March or something.
Really control your breathing.
Yes, very important.
Yeah, I was going to ask actually for tips about that because like I tried it, and like when it's summer, it's like a hot day. That's like all right. It's not super comfortable, but it's fine. You can handle it. But then like if I get back home late at night, and in winter time, like. Dude, you're a stronger man than I am. Like, it's very hard to me to.
Even when you wash your hands, you notice that cold water on your hands, and you go like, I can't imagine this on my body. No way. But you can do it.
Shower, I imagine myself in the Arctic. And I'm just
that would be a real one. That's why I tended to discredit myself for like, because I mean dude, you can't get cold showers in Spain. Well, in winter, sometimes, when it's 5 degrees outside and stuff, I still consider that a cold shower. I still have to try
cold is like without any sort of heat, right? It's not necessarily that
it's
it
fully
should be
cold.
freezing. It's
fully
like,
on the blue side, not the red side.
Exactly. So like
fully there.
That's like kind of
always.
Ambient temperature, like the water is. Like that's kind of what you're having, because it will vary from place to place, of course. But
of course, yeah. But that's the way I did it, and I keep pushing through. And the way I approached it.
Okay, so I have another question. Then, like, how long do your showers like usually take? Because then, like, how much time you're spending underneath
under the water?
Yeah,
probably like 5 minutes, I would say. Sometimes 10. But
yeah, I'm not judging. I'm just trying to figure out, because that's something that I always heard people saying, like, "Oh, it's very good for your health," but like, whoa,
is it okay?
I don't know. Everything's turning off in terms of my computers. I don't know what's happening. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
And can you see me?
Yeah, perfectly.
Whoa,
nothing happened
everything
here.
just blacked out, dude. What the fuck?
Wait, even your internet?
Apparently my internet not, but that's plugged into another outlet. That was scary.
Your USBs just gave up.
Well, I hope not, man. But well, I'm sorry for that interruption.
It's okay.
And okay, where was I? oh yeah, everyone always said like it's very good for your health to take cold showers, but I was never able to do it. So like maybe learning from someone that does it for such a long time, it's
Yeah.
okay.
But what was
How
your
do you do
question
that, right?
before that? Like, how long do I spend under the water, right? So
Yeah, because like I was trying to figure out like, okay,
I don't do it like
how
on
does
a.
he do it?
Sometimes, because I try to also like, unlike when I was a teenager and did not appreciate like how much water we waste and how much that can actually reflect on the cost of the energy at the end of the month and stuff. Now I'm being more aware of that, and I'm not like, for instance, I use an initial shot of water, and then I turn it off and I wash myself and then I clear up again, with the water. And that's when I spend more time under the water. So there's this period of time where I'm actually wet, it's cold and there's no water pouring over me, but I'm still soaked, So there's this period of time which can last, I don't know, up to like 5, 10, 15 minutes, especially now that I'm shaving my head and stuff every time. I have to spend a long time there. I'm doing with like I'm not using a razor blade or anything like that. I noticed that to be like quite too much in the beginning. It irritates my skin and stuff. I'm using like one of these normal what's it called, like a machine, like one of those things, like they have like 3 heads, and all over
the electric shaver or something like that.
Yeah, I got that from years ago, and I'm now using it for this too. So that's a time that I'm like not under the water, but I'm still exposed to cold. What I noticed is that I'm able to kind of make this, what's it called, like this steam kind of thing on the mirror and the crystal from the shower and stuff, the glass, and I'm like, but the water is cold. How is this possible? So I understood that my body is emanating so much heat, with all the humidity from my breath and stuff.
The period outside of like the running water helps you handle the cold weather?
Of course,
then,
yeah.
Like, that could be like some starting exercise. Like you take the shower and then you turn it off, and then like you just stay there, soaked wet and like. Handling.
Yeah, but
because I'm trying to find ways to.
I'm not doing it for the sake of doing it like that. I'm doing it from a functional purpose.
Like, maybe it helps, Because
it helps.
What
because
about you? Have you tried cold showers?
I did at one point, I think 2 years ago, and I feel like it only lasted a week, but I had the initial reaction of kind of shaking a little bit, but not too much.
It's pretty violent, It's the natural way the body would react.
Like, that's the worst.
Yeah,
it's worked my way up for the cold. Like I would put it on lukewarm, and then I would slowly move it to colds, gradually. So that kind of helped with leaning into the cold showers, but I would never just straight up like go to the cold right away because I felt like going to shock.
What I did was
I turned it on and I
saw that
just going
Wim Hof guy talking about like, oh, you can take like your regular shower, and then by the end of it you spend like 2 or 3 minutes with it cold. But then like I like very hot bath, so like for me, taking like a super hot shower and then like turning it off, I think it was worse, than easing it in. So that's why I think it was very traumatic for me to like just boom, turn that off, and then like all of a sudden you get this like shower of ice on your head.
If you go to a place where there's no hot showers, you'll be prepared for it. Especially you, Adrian.
Sure. I did it. Look, at the time that I started this, we went to the Pelaes mountains up in the northern Spain, like between the France and Spain. There's this amazing set of mountains, the Pyrenees. So it's mountain area, it's like pretty high altitude. And even though it was August, it was freezing cold over there. So like literally freezing, like you could see the pools of water on the, just frozen and stuff in the morning. But then during the day, temperatures rise a little bit and they're fine. But I had to take those showers in the morning. So I still did it with that cold water, and it was pretty much different from what I had here because it was summer, right? So my friends went like, are you crazy? Why would you do that? And I'm like, it's a thing I'm doing for a while, so I don't want to skip it now, and I never skipped. That's that mentality that was building up. The same way
Superhuman.
The same way I told you that I go in initially and then I stop for a few minutes and then I go back. That's the hard part. Like after all of that, you think it's over. Now you have to go in again. That's the hard part, So during one shower, yeah, you get covered and you get that initial, as Dom mentioned, that shock, and then you stop for a while, and then you're kind of getting used to the idea that it's over, but it's not over. You have to finish. So that's when the second part comes in. And just for you to get like a reference of how cold that was, I would sit there until like my skin would go numb, like my top of my shoulders, my head, everything, wherever the water is pouring into. Yeah, like until I no longer feel it anymore. So I would just peacefully sit there in that crazy cold water, for like 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. I don't know. And yeah, that's the cold thing.
The only time I've done, I guess, an ice bath would be back in high school, where we take a tub of water and just dump like a ton of ice in it and just put our feet in. Because after we'd run, our feet.
Okay, Dom just fell.
Oh, I thought it was on my end.
No,
is it frozen?
Yeah, it's him.
Oh,
but
go away.
Okay, you're back now. So
yeah.
You were talking about high school, I think, because you cut out for a while.
Yeah. We did ice baths in cross country, where we take like a big tub of water and just dump a bunch of ice in it, and we'd all sit in a circle and put our legs inside the ice bucket, and we'd sit there for maybe 10 to 15 minutes or so.
Whoa,
and then afterwards
really?
the soreness would be gone. Yeah,
dude, that's
Instantly.
That's a long time, 15 minutes.
But it felt, it hurt at first, but then afterwards it just felt nice. It didn't feel like too bad.
When you say it hurt at first, is like it hurt the first few times, or like every single time the first few minutes would hurt?
Like you feel the sharp burning pain of the ice, because it's so frigid.
Yeah.
But then after like a couple minutes, it slowly resides, and you go numb pretty much. You don't really feel that
you
sharp,
end up with this
pain.
red skin all across,
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't go in like all the way, like we didn't dip to our chest or anything. It was just our legs. But
okay.
Afterwards, it was just there's no pain left in our feet, which felt nice.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, what I like from this is that process of learning to control yourself. Like if you guys have seen Dune, when he puts the hand into the box, the lady says, like, when he asks, like, what's in the box, and she says pain. He does like this gesture, like just bullshit, and then he goes through all of that, and she says, like, you got to learn to control your emotions and stuff, your impulse, your instinctive impulses and stuff. That's something that I feel applies here, because you learn how to control your breath, to not panic, to fight that urge to step out of that cold water, because this is not good. This is awful. I don't want to be here. But when you learn how to fight that, I feel like, in my case at least, I learned how to deal with adversity in a better way, to withstand stress or stressful situations much better than before, to not give up so easily. And
psychological strength.
Yes. That's why I still do it. By far, it's not as hard as it was before, but I still have to try the ice kind of thing, because that's the real deal.
Okay.
I just don't do it because I would have to spend a lot of money on buying ice every single time I have to shower and stuff, or to kind of do the ice myself, which I don't have that industrial equipment to make so much ice to fill like the bath. But
Get some some snow up in the mountains or something.
yeah, a place like that would be idealistic. But you wanted to say
I had
something,
a
Andrew?
question. Yeah. Okay, so you just said that like it's by far easier now than it was at first, but I assume that it's still very uncomfortable.
It is, yeah.
Because I think like what I'm trying to think about is like what is a parallel for of something that like I'm used to, so I can like kind of understand what you are going through, and maybe like that will help me get into it, because it's something that like I want to do, but like I'm not currently able to. So I'm trying to figure out from someone that does it, right? And it would be kind of like when you go to the gym, and every single time you're like putting so much effort that it kind of hurts. So you feel your muscles like working and like being stressed out, and it's very uncomfortable. But after a while, that's like you're expecting it, so you know how to. That's why it's like easier now than it was before. So I assume it's the same kind of thing, right? It will always be uncomfortable. It will always be a little bit of like a physical stress.
Yeah, you just learn how to deal with it better.
You just learn how to deal with it.
Yeah. It's like anything you can say, you know, when someone asks you like, when does that stop? You know, any negative thing they ask you, like, when does that stop? And you say, oh, never. You just learn how to deal with it, you know?
And you never take like any kind of warm or hot showers?
No, never.
Savage.
No. When I started, I had... No, it's been nonstop ever since 5 years ago.
No,
That's what I'm
I know,
saying.
but like maybe sometimes like you take 2 showers in a day, you know? Like those 2 would be cold showers.
Yeah, especially summer, you know. But it's not that cold anymore.
Yeah, I'm sorry,
That's why
like,
it's more
we've been
tolerable.
talking. You just talked about the cold showers as the thing that you do, but we never dived into the other stuff that you do. But
Right. But yeah, I found this particular experience to be like a very much of a driving I don't know, factor of my mentality and learning how to deal with all this stuff. And whoops, let me close my door real quick. All right, so that's for the cold part, right? But then I also realized that I'm able to tolerate heat. So at that gym I was going to, they had like a sauna, and also they had like one of those steam baths or whatever they're called. You know, it's like
Sauna.
almost no. The sauna is one thing, and then they have like a steam bath, also called Turkish bath or something like that. So it's like
I don't know what that is.
There's steam all across the room, bro. It's like very wet, very wet.
Oh, but okay. So the sauna. I'm sorry. I think I have a misconception. Is the
Sauna
sauna
is
like
dry.
drier than that?
Yeah, a lot more.
I always thought of sauna as something that was more humid, because it seems like there's a lot of steam in there.
It is. There is some humidity, but it's overall like the temperature is much higher in the sauna. It's like around 75, 80 or 90 degrees, you know. And I've heard people in the, you know, Finland or, you know, Norway or somewhere around the Nordic countries from Europe, they do that sauna competition kind of thing, and they go as far as up to 115 degrees or 120 degrees
Holy crap.
Celsius,
But
which
like,
is
okay.
that's beyond the cooking
Where is
point,
that
right?
temperature? Yeah, where is the temperature measured at? Like, because is it just the air temperature, or is it like because
I think it's
always
an
thought
air
like the temperature was.
Yeah, they have like a clock inside with like a thermometer and stuff, so you can see
Wow.
how high it is. But the other thing I'm telling you about, the steam thing, that's like way lower. You know, it's like about 30 degrees or something, I've been told. But it feels like burning like crazy, you know, because you're inhaling
Because
all
like
that.
you're kind of cooking, because like if it has like hot water all around because it's steamed.
Yes, it's because
you
all
kind of
that
like-
that humidity, you know, all that
Yeah.
moisture is like almost 100%, I would say. So you're basically inhaling water and stuff all the time. It's not boiling because it's only 30 degrees. I might be wrong on this, but that's what I've heard back then. And I said, holy shit, it's insane how much of a difference this effect makes. You know, the fact that it's steamed, you know, it's like all this steam all across, makes it feel like so much higher than what it really is. But it wasn't. So I learned how to tolerate that as well. And I was spending there like up to 10, 15 minutes or something like that. Even though they had like a nice panel with, should I say, like indications for how to use it. Like 5 minutes inside, then you go outside, take a cold shower, then you come back in, and then you hop out and spend some time cooling off. I never did that. I didn't care about that. I wanted to push my limits, and whenever I felt like I can't take it no more, I'm just going out. So that's for the cold and the heat experience. And then about the cardio thing, like I already mentioned that I try to come back to running, and I've always struggled so much because of this mentality of like, I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna go full in, you know, all in, like I'm going to do it every day and there's no way back. And of course, naturally, that was not the only thing I tried to do. I was also trying to do all these 10 other things every single day. And I would notice how it's like mentally very draining. Like you feel powerless because I can't cover all these things every day. It's so hard. I suck, you know, I'm not good enough. And you feel that kind of negativity inside. And that was always the factor that kicked me out of that schedule all the time. And it made me feel like I can't do it, man. I'm just so bad at it. You know, I'm not disciplined. And I was always fighting back that emotion.
I'm laughing because that's my thought while I try to take cold showers. It's like, oh man, I can't do it.
But the problem was that, you know, because sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Like in my case, look at the cold shower thing. I never looked back. I did it every single day ever since. So it's clearly that's not the problem. The problem is that there were too many things. And I was talking to my cousin one day and he said, don't you realize you're always doing the same? You're always starting something like, you know, super energized and stuff. And then you just stop because there's so many things. Why don't you take one thing at a time? You know, so what I'm learning to do right now is to run like a few times a week. Let's say 3 times a week, for instance. You know, I started doing 2 times a week. I think that's more doable. And last summer, and by the way, this is about what you said, Andre, about like how much you run, how much you walk. I was doing this recovery thing for my leg, which I messed up at that gym. When I was trying to stretch after so many years of not being that much flexible and stuff, I tried to get back.
That was like your inner leg tendon, right?
Yeah. That was, my mind was in the wrong place. You know, my mind was in the past. My body was in the present. My mind didn't listen to the present body and try to push it further. And this is what happened. So I was trying to recover from that last year. I was at this physical therapy center. And after a few months of process, you know, they said, okay, I think you can start running now, you know, and the way you will do it is like you start running 10 or 15 minutes and then it's always 30 minutes in total, right? So from that total of 30 minutes, you do 15 minutes of running and then 15 minutes of walking. That's how you do it. And then you go progressively higher than that. You run 20 minutes and then you walk 10 minutes. That until you can complete the full 30 minutes of only running, you know. So yeah, that's what I used to run, you know, years ago, like 30 minutes, around 30 minutes, like about 5 kilometers, I would say. And then on the Thursday that I mentioned, we would go for 15 kilometers or 20 something kilometers. That was like crazy for me. I didn't know I could do that, but I did it. I was so proud of myself back then. And now I'm taking it easier. You know, I'm like, okay, I can do twice a week. And I'm noticing how this has much more of an impact long term. I'm able to kind of run more without feeling that kind of negative thing, like I can't do it, it's too much. It's not too much, but I'm still doing so much. It's almost like you take 5 minutes a day to do something. You will do more than if you force yourself to do 1 hour of it every day. Like sketching. Let's take sketching, for instance. I want to spend 4 hours a day sketching every single day. Like, aside from everything else. Yeah, you'll soon realize, oh man, I'm not good enough. I can't do this. You know? It's not that you're not good enough. You're just approaching it from a very, I would say, rather unrealistic perspective. Like it's too much. It's too ambitious. It's not wrong to have that ambition, but I respect that a lot.
Most people don't get to hit their fitness goals is because they set those unrealistic standards, like, oh, if I do this amount of exercise in this week, like I want to burn the weight fast, or I want to lose the weight really quick. But they don't think of like, this is more of a lifetime thing. Like you're doing this for life, not just for 30 days or something. Because what do you do after that 30 days? You'll go right back to your bad habits. Who knows? Maybe you will, maybe you won't.
It's the process.
I don't think like setting like a goal of number of days is very healthy, because then like it's the same thing with the diet, like, oh, I just need to go through this diet for like a month or 2 months, and then like what about afterwards? Like it's more about but it needs to be something like without a like expiration date, right?
It's one step at a time.
It doesn't work.
Yeah, and also another thing that it helps, like if you don't have the expiration date, is like you can start slowly because you'll be doing this for a long time. So like longevity, it's more important than like this immediate goal. Like the first time that I ran, like I'm aiming for 5K, and instead of like thinking about how much time I'm spending, I'm like, okay, 5K is the distance. And then I would just shorten like the amount of time that it takes. And then when I'm doing it fast enough, I can increase the distance. But I was doing like
that's
kind of
the same approach I'm following. I don't care about the time now. Just want to finish,
Instead of the like 15 minutes running, 15 walking, is like 1 and 1. And then like when I achieved like half of the distance, I was like, okay, this is like too much. And then I was doing like 2 minutes walking, 1 running. And then like, it's because I knew I wanted to do this for a long time. I was like, okay, it's fine. Like I don't need to be like super amazing at it at first, So it takes that pressure off. And it keeps you like going.
Of course.
And I had like these like 80-year-old guys like passing me running, like they're
dude, fuck that, like you're on your own stuff.
Hell yeah, I was looking at them like, hell yeah, dude, you go. When I get to your age, I want to be able to do it.
I'm gonna get there too, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. That's the same approach that I'm following. Like it's not that I don't care about the time. I do care about the time, but I'm aware of the fact that I can't run that fast now. I'm just starting again.
It's kind of like just a goalpost, right? The same thing happens at the gym, like you look at those 45 plays, those I'm talking in pounds, but like the 25 to 30 kilo plates,
you
like you look at them at first.
Well.
You look at them at first and like, oh, they're super heavy. I barely can get one of them, right? Like to put it on the bar, and then afterwards you just start to count like how many of them can you stack.
After a few months or years, you look back and think, holy shit, that used to be my workout. That was just my warm-up.
And that's
it's like the pull-up stuff too. Like you do 1 pull-up, you don't give up, or you try to work your way up to like 10 pull-ups. You got to learn how to do 1 first before you attempt like that many.
Yeah, it's with everything, right?
I'm aware of the fact that you should allow like periods of recovery between workouts and stuff, especially if you do. That's why in gym schedules have like Monday is for chest and triceps, or Tuesday for back, and then you have the leg day, and then it's all separated. So I'm aware of that. But every time I pass by these workout parks, when I go out for a walk with my boy or something, and I just walk across that and I see those bars and I'm like, I wonder if I can do some pull-ups. And I noticed, dude, I'm in such a bad shape. I can barely do one, but then the next day, that's all I did, that day, like one pull-up. Okay, that's fine. It took a lot of effort, but I did it. And then I keep walking. Next day, I do it again. Next day, I do it again. So one pull-up a day, right? It's crazy. You're not gonna get anywhere with that. Well, soon enough, I was doing 10 pull-ups. It's been like probably a month since the first day. I'm not talking about now specifically, but back then when I did that, like a couple of years ago or something. Because those kind of goals that now you guys mentioned how people quit very soon after they join for the gym membership and stuff. That's usually like January 1st when everybody starts
January
with
is like this huge boom.
Yeah, and New Year's resolution.
Outlines. Yeah.
I used to be very good friends with like the gym like owner that I used to go to, and he was like, okay, January there's this boom, and then like winter here is in June, right? So like in June, there's also this huge boom because people want to get fit for the summer, which is like at the end of the year. Yeah. So like there's these 2 periods of time where like everyone's going to the gym, and then the in-betweens, it's like no one goes there ever. But I think people have unrealistic expectations because they don't know themselves. Like you don't need to go to the gym. You need to do something that you enjoy, right?
That's the journey.
But to keep consistency, And like I like the gym, that's why
you don't want the journey. But, like, you just want a shortcut to get to the goal, which is to get fit and to be lean, to look nice.
And you can get fit like in a variety of different sports. Like my fiance, as an example, she likes stuff that is more team oriented. Like there's more people doing it, so she goes to classes where she has like other people, like other girls doing it with her.
Well, that's nice. I like that kind of energy you get from like more people doing the same thing you're doing.
And I hate that, Like I like being by myself.
I don't blame you, bro. I like that too. I'm noticing
it's
like
a matter of like being self-aware, right?
Yeah.
Because if I force myself to go to what she does, where there's like this bunch of people, they're interacting with each other and they're like talking a bunch, I would suck at that and I would not enjoy it, right? And I wouldn't be consistent.
Yeah.
And I would never get to my goals. So
I used to have conflicting thoughts on that because, when I told you guys I was not running alone, but I didn't like that I couldn't have my own pace. Like I was basically forced to run faster, to push my boundaries, my cardio boundaries. And I'm like, I don't like this. And I would get mad, but I will do it. So in a way, I found that very motivating and very helpful because it's like there's someone else helping me to kind of push myself, right? That's cool. But what if it's the other way around and there's someone slower than you? You kind of have to sacrifice something there, for them to match all of you. So I think it's a sentiment that I feel when traveling, when doing anything, running something on your own. Not running like the physical way, but like doing something, like a project, like, traveling here or there, going for a trip or a mountain hike. Like you can go at your own pace and you don't have to explain to anyone why you want to stop here right now and take a break or why you want to go faster. Or I like that liberating thought, But of course, I do enjoy also group activities like, holy shit, we're doing this together, guys. Look at us. We're 3 on LightShare, and I love this. But I also like to have my own YouTube channel and my own project and my own stuff. So that's also cool.
That's shameless plug, though.
Check it out. I'm on YouTube, guys.
Adrian Virlan.
And I made a video on inspiration, by the way. You should check it out. What?
Recently or?
Like a few months ago, I think. A couple months ago or something.
Oh, yeah.
But I am now starting to adapt to this running schedule, okay? As I am also doing my workout, which consists mostly on leg workout, which is something that I neglected all these years. I never had really like any leg problems or anything like that besides that injury, but like in terms of strength and all that stuff, I never had a problem. I was fine. But I started to take this ATG group workout routine from the knees over toes guy, Ben Patrick.
Yeah.
He's amazing, dude. Like, I like how all these dogma breaking kind of knowledge is like pouring in. Like, you're not supposed to do it that way. Well, I'm doing it anyway, and it's feeling better, you know? So there's so many counter thoughts to everything that is being taught nowadays. Because it's like,
those like
you're gonna injure
super
yourself.
deep lunges.
That's not good. That's not good for your knees. That's not, you know, I felt that the effects almost immediately, you know, after a week or two. Some pains that I used to have, which are mostly due to inflammation and all that stuff, which is mostly due to diet, which I also started to change since last year or something. Look, it's been, now that we're transitioning into the diet stuff, it's been a long time since I ate like junk food or stuff like that, at least on a consistent basis. That's something I used to do when I was a teenager, and you hang out with your friends, and the easiest place to go to is like a fast food place. It's also cheaper.
I do eat them like once in a while. Like in social environments, I do still do that.
Yeah.
But that's like a once every like 2 or 3 weeks, once a month. When you go out, like I find it like that's completely fine. You know, it won't kill you.
Yeah.
Eating it on a daily basis, it's kind of.
Okay, look, we're going to come back to this like right now. Remember the fast food and diet kind of stuff, because I first want to finish with the running thing.
The ATG stuff, yeah.
Yeah, because I considered it very, very important, you know. I'm combining those two in a way that allows me to kind of keep on with my life and carry on with everything I'm doing at the same time. It doesn't take much time from me, and it's like showing up to benefit me a lot. So I'm building more flexibility, more joint strength, I would say. You know, I'm able to do stuff that I wasn't able to do on day one. You notice that tendon strength that we mentioned earlier. It's building, it's all coming together, and I love it. And one thing I've always been fascinated by is about the not philosophy, but the technique when running, you know, and stuff, and how am I supposed to run? What's the better way to run? You just run, right? But there's ways of stepping and stuff. So I'm learning more about that, and I finally ended up trying to run more on my toes, to land on my toes, you know, rather than to heel strike all the time, which is what got me so much more tired back in the days. And I'm realizing how much of a difference that makes nowadays, you know, for me. Like, you're just cushioning everything way better. It's almost like your body was designed to do it that way, you know?
You don't say it.
Oh shit, Dom just dropped. Well, I'm just
He was so shocked by the fact that your body was designed to run that he was like, no, I can't handle this.
He's trying to get back. Anyway, we're gonna. Okay, cool. He's back. Yeah, you just dropped for a minute, bro. So what I'm trying to do is like exactly that, you know. Let's be more specific. When I was finishing my running sessions years ago, I would try to run on my toes for the last 100 meters, you know, or something like that. That's seconds, right? But I would notice how, holy shit, this is so hard. How can people run like this? This is impossible. I can't do it. Now, after so many years, I'm running like that all the time, you know? So it's not like you're running on your toes only, but you're landing on your toes first, and then you're using the rest of the foot to rest your body on. Each step is like that. So what I ended up doing is like I got myself one of these barefoot shoes, you know, which are just like, they have this flat, very thin sole, I think it's called, you know, the back, the lower side of the shoe. And yeah, it's kind of different. You know, I started to feel what you felt when you said, oh, my tendons, you know, the bottom of my foot. It's like, yeah, the first day was hard, especially on my calves, which are what takes most of the weight. There's this muscle underneath the calves, which is this long one, and it's like, so it's the strongest one in the body, I think, according to its proportions and stuff, because it takes all your body weight, so that was the one that hurt the first days. But then as I didn't push it too much, again, only 2 days a week, it got adapted to it. Plus I was doing a lot of leg workout with the knees over toes guys, so that just improved everything. So I hope one day, hopefully this year, by the end of this year or something, I can get to run barefoot or something, because I know there's like a transition. You can't just simply take your shoes off and start running barefoot. You're going to get injured, or maybe your feet are not used to that kind of exercise. So there's a process that you must follow, and I'm respecting that. That's why I'm giving myself time to adapt to this kind of thing, so then I can jump onto the next one. This being said, the diet stuff that we mentioned, it's been so long since I gave up on soda and junk food in general, like Burger King, those burger kind of stuff from the fast food places, but I would still go every now and then, let's say, to the pizza places, which if it's like a local restaurant that's like somehow natural, and like traditional and all that stuff, that's cool. That's good. But if you go to like a corporate chain of restaurants, like the equivalent of McDonald's, for instance, Domino's Pizza or similar, I think that's more messed up, because it's clearly not. It's made to be industrial. It's made to be fast.
Put so much sodium in there.
Yeah,
a lot of sodium.
I'm not sure sodium is bad for you, but there's sure is a lot of other stuff.
it's bad. Like everything, like in super high quantities would kind of mess you up, right? Mm-hmm. There's like the minimum amount that you need a day, but yeah, I see what you mean. Like it's food that is made to like never go bad. So
yeah,
like it's compare like one of those pizzas other than like one like made at the same time that you're going to eat like a custom place and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's there's clearly different things. It's the same thing like with the I don't know how they make pizzas over there, but like in here they put like tomato I don't know what they call it.
Tomato sauce.
Like kind of
mozzarella
on top of it.
Cheese.
Tomato. And like there's pre-made ones that you can buy like at the supermarket, and then like you can get the actual tomato and do it like
I see. Yeah.
And those of course like are way healthier, right? Because there's not full of conservatives and stuff.
Because you do it and you know what's in it. The ingredients you use. So that was my point. Like I started to change this kind of habit long ago. And I don't mean to say that I'm not sometimes, like it happened last week, 5 days ago. I went to a place where we had a lot of that kind of stuff. And I was like, dude, it's been so long since I did this last time, it feels so weird and so wrong. But the thing is that it's so delicious that you're kind of driven by the emotion of it. Like, it's so good, dude. It's so good. Why not? So once you learn how to fight that urge to satisfy your temporary needs, because I'm learning to distinguish cravings from actual hunger, which are actually something that I'm realizing that I was eating a lot, especially when I was at the gym and stuff, because I got so bulky. I was eating so much, but now I'm learning to control that a lot more, and I'm understanding myself a little better. So right now, this is day 5 of fasting. I'm only drinking water for 5 days now. So I'm noticing so many things. You guys know I've done this in the past a couple of times, pushing it to like 3 days and then 4 days and a half. And now I'm aiming for like 7 days. So it's definitely a challenge for me. But I don't feel the way I thought I would feel. I thought, it's going to be horrible, because I see so many other people showing their adventures on this. Like, I did a 7-day fast, you know, and I'm like, holy shit, that's a long time. Even with my dad today, I was talking about this. He was like, so you're doing a fasting thing now? That's so, but why so long? Like, do you feel okay? Are you gonna faint? Can you still stand? And I'm like, dude, I'm fine. Look, I went for a cardio session. I did my regular run on day 2, and then I still worked out the last the other days. So it's good. You feel different. You feel lighter. You feel, and it's not because, oh duh, you don't have food inside, of course you feel lighter. No, it's because I'm talking about the muscle sensation that I have. You know, it's like I'm ready 24/7 for anything. I can do push-ups right now. I've still done pull-ups, and it feels amazing. So what I'm learning is how to manage my cravings, because I've always had a sweet tooth. Is that how you say it in English? If you're a guy who likes sweet stuff all the time, dude,
I still have it.
I love that.
I'm getting better too.
You know what's very sweet and also good for you? Protein shakes.
Or smoothies.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like the processed food, you know, like
Yeah, I'm messing with you, dude.
cakes and chocolate and all the sweets, all the bad stuff, right?
Added sugars.
Yeah. So of course you lose your sensitivity to natural stuff like fruits, and because they're also super sweet, right? But that's only when you get off of the other stuff, when you start to be able to appreciate. So that's what I noticed in my body, the way I would feel when I'm finished eating like a healthier meal, like a salad with, it doesn't have to be only vegetables, you know, but it definitely looked like way more colorful, you know. And I also throw in some, you know, some fish or some chicken or some beef or anything, you know, you make it as you please. And right when I'm done, I'm not feeling that bloated, that lethargic, you know, that tired anymore. I'm feeling quite the opposite. Like I'm ready to go for a walk right now. Because usually, because of all the carbs and the sugar I would eat, I would always end up feeling like after each meal, you know, like, oh man, I need a nap now. I'm just going to sit here.
Is that water fasting, is it helping with the love handles? Like, does it help that go away? Have you noticed any changes?
I don't think it's like, it's a short period of time, you know, it's just 7 days. I don't think it's enough for that. But
the thing about the love handles is that, like, for a man particularly, it's one of the last things to go, right? So
I mean, yeah, but that's, in my opinion, the way you get them off is by just general cardio over time, you know.
I wouldn't say that. Like, it's general fat
it's
loss.
not like,
it's just that, like, for guys, the abdominal region is where we accumulate more fat. And, like, the lower back to the love handles, and then like this.
It's the hardest thing to get off, right?
Yeah, it's just the last thing to go, because it's like where we deposit more fat. But there's no like losing it specifically. You just lose overall fat, and then like this goes away with it.
But that's what I mean.
Target fat loss, right?
Exactly. That's like, in my opinion, a misconception about that. Like, how can I burn this specific area? Like, dude, you don't burn that specific area. You burn everything in general, you know. And that thing is the last one to kind of
part.
Yeah, because that's where you have
the last
more
one to
fat.
go.
Yeah. So
well, it's like the hardest mindset, because you want to target that spot, but then you realize you have to work the whole body to get to get rid of that spot. And so,
of course, and it takes time.
Yeah,
you know,
and it makes sense that people think that you can target it, because like when you are working out, you are targeting a specific muscle.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
To grow. So you're like, okay, right now I'm doing this exercise for this muscle. So maybe if I do like this other exercise.
That's why most people believe that by doing more abs, you will get more abs, but abs will only show up and become visible when that layer of fat disappears. and that's only it's a general thing, you know. If that disappears, it's because the rest of the body fat is kind of disappearing as well.
It also happened like with women because they accumulate fat in other parts, like
women are more like on the lower sides
back of the tricep. So like my fiance is an example. Like she was always frustrated because she had like kind of like flaccid back arms. But that's where women accumulate a lot of fat as well. So it's like the last thing to go for them too, you know. You're always fighting that last the last portion of your body.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, what I noticed is that I would feel very different by eating this other type of food. It's not like, look, my diet, now that, you know, we've been asking each other, like, what do you eat? Like, what's your diet? My diet is more like an elimination diet. So I choose what things not to eat anymore. And instead of like going for like, I'm going to eat this specific thing and this one and this one, I just give up on many things that I don't think are helping me. So yeah, I've been trying a lot of stuff, you know. I'm trying to stay away from processed carbs, you know, like I'm trying to eat less bread, less
I almost cut it off completely.
Yeah, when I say bread, less, like, it's like entirely out.
I think it's been honestly a few years since I don't eat like bread on a maybe like once every couple of months, you know.
But you know, it has to do more with the flour that it's used to make it, which is white, and that's not natural. It's like a processed food, you know. But if you use the whole grain flour, that's way better. But like even the whole ones, I don't really like enjoy that. So, look, I'm really big into rice, you know. So like I rather eat like rice and something else with some meat than the bread itself. For me, it's just
like
a little bit
much
boring.
Rice?
Is it white rice or brown rice?
I eat both of them. It depends on the day, you know. Like if I have, let's say, a leg workout, then like white rice, it's great for that. Like I eat a lot of it, and it really does help you keep your like energy levels very high. And then like let's say that you want to feel you are reducing your calories, right? And then you want to feel like more full for the entire day. Then you eat like brown rice because it will give you that satisfied sensation. And
basmati rice is also good. The Indian rice, it's the long green. I don't know if I ever eat it. It's called basmati.
Basmati. Yeah.
Oh, I never had it.
Yeah, it's like the really thin rice grains, and they're really long. So it's pretty healthy too.
I don't know much about rice, but yeah, I do have it every now and then.
It's because over here it's like the base of our diet, right? It's rice and beans.
Oh,
it's like basically they go with everything. Like,
dude, I love beans.
Some people eat like rice, beans, and pasta like at the same time, and I don't know how they do it,
pasta. But it's mostly rice for me.
I'm learning. I've been definitely trying to educate myself more on the matter, you know, beyond what I used to know years ago, where it's like, oh, you got to eat protein and but which specific foods, you know, which specific things should I eat to get this kind of thing or this other kind of thing? Well, now I'm kind of learning which things do what, so I can actually choose from a deeper understanding perspective. And what I'm realizing is that, you know, the food that is usually higher in price, it's more expensive, tends to be this bio type of stuff, this you know, whole grain type of pasta or rice or food or bread, or any kind of food like that. And most people are like, nah, that's too expensive, I just buy this one, you know, it's still good enough. But that's
me expensive to have to go to the doctor afterwards.
That's, you read my mind. That's my point. I prefer to pay this now, you know, than to kind of have to rely on like medical bills later on and visits to the doctor and all that stuff. The same way we, you know, with my dog, like in the very beginning, we didn't pay attention to that. We were just buying all the cheap stuff. And then I realized, you know what? I actually prefer to kind of invest some more and stop going to the vet every single time. Stop seeing him like in that bad shape all the time, you know, having those stomach problems and all that stuff. I noticed how when we changed that diet to a more expensive one, well, dude, it's not even comparable to the amount of money you have to spend on a doctor. You know, it's way more worth it. It saves like that money. It saves that pain and that suffering that it causes you to see someone suffer like that. So
I take care of your body, even 58 or
please,
50 plus.
Please, guys, acknowledge this. Be aware of your health and take care of it. With no health, you get nowhere.
Health is wealth.
It's always much more worthy.
And we understand that everyone, or at least most of the people watching this, want to be like artists. And art is like a marathon. It's a long run. So the only way to get there is if you live long enough. You know?
It's easy in the beginning. Please. Most people start like really young, and you know, you can endure like an entire night of like those late night sessions, and you lack sleep and stuff like that, but you don't care because you're so young. You don't care. You don't notice.
You don't have the consequences of like bad behavior.
That comes later.
Getting them afterwards.
It's the naivety.
That comes later on. And sleep is very important, by the way. I used to sleep five hours a night around 2014, 15. And I think we talked about this in another episode, but yeah, I noticed how important sleep is, bro. I need like at least 7 hours a night. It's the most undervalued thing, you know?
Yep.
Sleep is for the weak.
Tough guy.
I don't need it. Yeah, exactly. Because
and if you want to wake up like at 5 a.m, go sleep early, you know?
Exactly. Look, when people go crazy over that, like react in such a crazy way, what? You wake up at 5 a.m? You're crazy, dude. So what do you sleep, like 4 hours? No, dude. I just go to bed when the sun goes down, you know? Because it's how we've been conditioned, you know, by all this nice life, this technology to kind of have lights during the night and all that stuff. I've been noticing how that affects your body, because your skin is also like an organ, you know, it absorbs stuff. And that includes light, believe it or not. So you know the blue light kind of thing.
I always had like acne issues, and my skin was always like honestly very bad, right? And ever since I started going like for the jogs in the morning, where I take like that
vitamin
sunlight
D,
dude, it makes a huge difference, like on how it feels, you know, like I'm still ugly as hell, but at least the skin is getting better.
Yeah. Dude, shut up. You're beautiful, bro. Come on.
You can help your physique, but like the cover of it, you know, the icing on the cake.
So humble. Sorry, guys. He's just so humble.
I mean it in a good sense, because I used to like stay indoors like the whole day and never take any sunlight, and it really makes a huge difference on how you feel, right? Not only on your appearance, but like how you feel every day. Yeah. And the days in which I go like for that walk and the jog, it's like they're so much better. The rest of the day, you feel so much more energized. It's like it's crazy.
It's almost, it feels counterintuitive. And I heard this from a friend of mine, a close friend of mine, who dropped a lot of weight. And he was saying like, dude, I'm noticing when I was working out, I was not so tired during the day. When I don't do anything, I feel so like I need a nap, like I need to sleep more. It's backwards, you know? It's not that intuitive. Like the more energy you spend, the more energy you get. What? How does that work? Somehow.
I guess it's kind of like the same thing as the working out stuff, right? You put yourself over that stress, so your body prepares to handle that stress, right?
Yeah.
So kind of like, oh, you need this energy, so I'm gonna make it like I'm gonna make myself like be able to do that, and then like you just have it.
Comfort breeds weakness. Let's remember that. Like it does it, you know. The more comfortable you get.
Isn't that on your video? I think I heard you saying it.
I'm not sure if I've said it on any video, but maybe it is. Yeah,
We
yeah.
just
Because
watched
what I'm-
all those
it's
YouTube
what I'm
videos.
It's what I'm realizing, you know, like the more comfortable you get, the nicer things are. And then when something messes up and something is like the slightest obstacle and stuff, you break down. You don't know how to go over it. So
which is like be comfortable being uncomfortable, right?
that's why
That'll be
I'm
like another big topic for
Yeah.
us to talk about.
yeah, because we're also coming to an end of this one. But I just wanted to say that everyone can find time to dedicate to their health.
No
I've heard this
excuses.
so many times. I don't have time, man. I work and I have to take care of this and that. Tell me, when am I supposed to work out? Dude, do you have like 20 minutes? Can you
You
do
have 16
10
hours in the day to
Can you do
yeah,
10
before we
push-ups a day? You know, a day.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
Dude.
But remember my pull-up a
Yeah.
day, you know, like one pull-up a day. And look what that took me.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
You
There's
just
a
need to
start.
That's like
Exactly. It's a start. So, yeah. Take care of your
guys,
health,
I
guys.
yeah, I think this is a good point to leave it at.
Mhm.
And
Absolutely.
Thank you guys
yeah,
for watching.
it's been a couple of really awesome episodes, guys. I really hope that we made
Yeah.
people think about it, and
We'll expand more later
For sure.
in
Cool.
future episodes.
It's been my pleasure talking to you guys about this. I'm really passionate about all this thing about our biology, anatomy, understanding our world, the nature of our existence, and all that stuff. So yeah, we could definitely expand a little bit more on what Dom said about the, you know, mentality on how to approach obstacles and adversity and all that stuff. But for now, we're going to leave it here. So we just hope you guys all enjoyed this episode. Please let us know your thoughts down below in the comment section. And, well, tell us a little bit of your story as well. Like, how did it work for you? Like, how did you change from your old life to your new life, you know, your new lifestyle? How did you approach this thing? And how did that work for you? So with this being said, I'm just going to say, you know, thanks for watching. Take care. And we hope to see you in the next one. So until then, take care and have a good one. Bye-bye, guys.
yeah, guys.